So this week I wanted to talk about, hold on, I wrote it down. Oh, okay. So when things that take away from your peace. I guess my question to you would be, what is like, I want to word this correctly. Because not everything that makes you happy brings you peace. So what are some things that in your life make you really happy but don't necessarily bring you peace of mind? Like, let's take a relationship, you know, when you love someone but they don't necessarily, like, they make you happy but they don't bring you peace, you know, like they're toxic, they don't they don't, like, they always arguing, and I guess you think you're happy, you know, like maybe you're not happy in relationships like that, but you know what I mean. It's hard to word it, but I feel like you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you mean. For me personally, knock on wood, I don't feel like I have anyone in my life that is a person that takes away from my peace of mind, because I have learned very fast that if you do have someone that does take away from your peace of mind, they shouldn't be in your life. So for me, that's important. My peace of mind is very important, and I feel like certain things that do take away, if you have something that takes away from your peace of mind, you need to fix whatever that is. Currently in my life, I think that I am pretty peaceful. I have goals that I want to accomplish, and hopefully within the next year, my partner and I can accomplish those goals.
So you feel like for the most part, you feel at peace with your life, and like...
See, I don't feel at peace with my life because I haven't gotten to where I want to be yet.
That's interesting. But
I feel happy with my life. Do you know what I mean? I feel happy, but I feel like I can't be at peace until like my goals are fully accomplished.
That's a little dangerous. No?
I mean,
like if you're always waiting for your goal to be accomplished in order to feel peaceful or at peace, you might be waiting a long time.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because you're always going to have a goal. You're always going to have something you want to reach towards, but like you have to be happy even if you don't reach those goals. You know,
and that's something I guess I need to work on myself, because it's hard for me to be at peace with something I'm not feeling, that I don't feel like is where I want to be. Like, for example, like I said, I have certain goals that I want to reach, and like I plan to hopefully reach those within the next year and a half at the most. And like if I don't reach them, I'm not going to be miserable, but I feel like I won't be like at peace, I guess, you know. I won't be content.
Interesting.
I don't want to say unhappy, because I don't think I won't be unhappy. I just won't be content.
But like, as far as peace of mind goes, you're not going to have peace of mind.
Right, because it's going to be like upsetting if I don't get there. And I know sometimes it's not meant to be at that moment in time, but I think I need to work on that. Like, I need to try to, like what you said, it's a little dangerous to constantly feel like you need to reach these goals in order to be at peace. But for me...
Especially since most of those goals are materialistic things. Mm-hmm. Like, that has nothing to do with your peace.
Yeah. Like,
your inner peace and, like, your peace of mind. Or at least it shouldn't, you know? I feel like even certain ways of thinking take away from your peace. You know, like, you may think that... I feel like nobody really has 100%, you know, like I feel like your mental state of mind, like nobody is 100% there, you know, or 100% happy with everything, or 100% at peace. But getting to that state of mind where like you don't need anything to make you feel at peace. You are at peace, like within yourself. Like that's the goal for me. That's my goal. Like to be able to be anywhere in any situation and still feel at peace. Where like I don't want for anything more. I don't need for anything more. As long as like I'm happy and healthy, and you know what I mean? Like that's my goal, because I feel like I have in the past focused so much on those things, like getting getting X amount of dollars, getting a house, getting all of these different, which are, it's amazing to have those goals and you should always strive for more. But I feel like the more work I did on myself, the more my goals have changed. My perspective changed, so like the things that I want have changed. So as far as peace of mind goes, I'm trying to think of something that takes away from my peace of mind, and I can't really think of anything right now.
Yeah, like when you said that, it was hard for me to come up with something like genuine that I could say like, yes, this takes away daily. Like this is a daily thing, and it takes away from my peace of mind.
Yeah.
I can't actually, because if personally there was something that took away from my peace of mind on an everyday basis, I would try to fix it. I would try to fix it or
I mean,
take it away, you know, remove it somehow.
Like the things that have in the past taken away from my peace of mind. I know my environment was definitely, when I guess up until my mid-20s, I want to say, my environment was something that took away from my peace of mind, where it was always that feeling of walking on eggshells, like you're always going to piss somebody off or whatever because of my living situation. So that was always taking away from my peace of mind, where I felt like I couldn't just relax without feeling like on defense all the time, or like somebody's gonna come in screaming, or I'm gonna hear somebody talking shit about me. That, you know what, it's just, that was always taking away from my peace of mind. Even though I didn't live in the same house, like, or apartment as those people, I can still, like, you can feel it.
The energy,
you know what I mean? Like,
there.
Yeah, the energy is there. It doesn't separate. And that's where you have to change it. You have to remove yourself from the situation in order to find that peace. And sometimes you don't even realize you're not at peace until you are forced out of that situation. Because I was always like, it's fine, you know, like nobody's barging into my space, but I still know I can still hear you yelling about me downstairs. So it's like, it takes away from your peace of mind. And when I had to, after my apartment was in a fire and I was kind of forced to leave, which that in itself was its own crazy thing. Like, my house got struck by lightning and a floor went on fire, then my apartment got destroyed, and then I was forced to move out. So after I left, that's when I realized, like, wow, the amount of peace that you feel when you remove yourself from a toxic environment, it's crazy. How you don't realize how embedded you are into that kind of shit until you're out of it. Where it's like, oh wow, I go home and there's no screaming, like there's no yelling, there's no. It's a beautiful thing. So I guess now the only thing in my life, I guess now I create boundaries, and I have learned to not allow things into my life that take away from my peace. So I'm actually very happy that I thought of this question, and I can't even really answer it.
Right.
Because
it's nice to not be able to answer it.
It's nice to not have an answer for that in a serious way, because obviously things like not every day, but there are little things that take away from my peace, but I really can't think of any right now.
That's the thing. There's a difference from something that might have happened one week, like on a Wednesday, versus something that literally happens every single day. That's something that's taking away from your peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because of course you have a bad day and something happened.
Everyone has their off days, their bad days. But when something is continuously a part of your life every day, and it takes away from your peace of mind, or it causes you to have anxiety or stress or whatever, that is not a situation that you can keep yourself in. Like, you have to get out. You have to run, because your energy becomes your biology. And I know that, well, I've read that there are actual responses that can happen in your brain from a stressful or a traumatic experience, what have you. And there are actual responses that happen in your brain that cause a physical reaction. So your body, your biology changes, and then that stress, that emotional stress becomes like comes out physically in your body, which is why people, you know, I was looking up, I've most recently have encountered issues with psoriasis, and I've never had issues like that. And that was like over the past year or so, I've struggled with this. And I've realized, like, I've been doing a lot of research, and they say it's stress related, blah, blah, blah. I guess that's another insecurity of mine that I probably should have mentioned in the other video. My skin problem that has developed. And they say that it's caused by stress. So I've been trying to, like, really research that, and that's what, you know, your energy becomes your biology. And when you're coming from a stressful environment, or your mind state isn't, you know, at its best, you stress yourself out so much that you lose your hair, your skin breaks out, you develop these skin issues, you develop even like nausea. I remember when I used to get really depressed for other reasons, whatever reason. I would wake up super nauseous. I would feel nauseous all the time. You know, like I would lose my appetite. I wouldn't want to eat anything. Like, it really comes out in your body. How many times I get depressed? I always, not that I always used to say, but it's like the secret to losing weight, right? You get depressed for a couple days and you drop fucking 10 pounds in a week. You're like, it doesn't, that always does the trick. I'll break up, I'll lose weight the same day. I'll drop 10, 20 pounds. It's crazy how your mind does that. It affects your body so much. And that's the same thing, like, if your mind is not peaceful, if your mind is not at peace, it's going to come out in your body. And it's going to stress your body out, and it's going to come out in some kind of, that's why they call it disease, like dis-ease. Your body is at dis-ease. You're not at ease. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy how much your mindset has, or your mental state has to do with your physical body. And it's so important to be at one with yourself, at peace with yourself.
Right. Whatever's taking that piece away needs to be removed, or if you can, fix it or work on it. Because sometimes things can't be fixed. That's why you need to remove it.
I have here written down, how far will you go for your peace? Like, and I'm trying to think of like another situation that would take away from somebody else's peace. That's not
a person. It's work. I mean, environment.
Work. I get it. Some people feel like they have to do a certain job, or like they've been there for so long that you can't leave. No, like, that is such bullshit. Because I have met people that have just been at the same job and they feel obligated to stay because they've been there for like 20 years and they can't possibly do anything else. Like, this is all they know. No. If it takes from your peace of mind, it's too expensive. Like, you only live once, and there are a million things that you could possibly do with yourself and your time and your talent. And I promise you, you're probably not even doing a job that you're meant to be doing, or that you're even 100% good at, because you don't love doing it. If you love doing it, it wouldn't take away from your peace. So you should be doing something that you love doing.
Exactly.
Like, then it wouldn't be
That's
work.
so important to me as well. I feel like money in terms of working is so, like, it doesn't matter really. Of course, money, you need it to survive daily. But if you're not happy with what you're doing, why is the money worth it? Is it worth it? No. If you're super unhappy, I mean, you should genuinely love what you do.
If you're just not fulfilled.
Or not fulfilled.
You know? Because, like,
but fulfillment also ties into happiness. If you're not fulfilled, then you're not truly happy.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's not, I guess, making you
meaningful, or I don't know. Like, the only thing I can think of is when I was when I was the payroll secretary, and I was happy with my job. I wasn't so happy with, like, certain things about it, but my job, like, I loved my job, but it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't meaningful. It wasn't anything. It was just numbers on a screen that I knew how to do very well. You know, like it wasn't like your job. You teach children. You instill wisdom on little children, you know, like that's a meaningful job, no matter if it's a city job, whatever. Like at the end of the day, you're teaching children. At the end of my day, I was just punching numbers in and cashing in a check. Like that's not a meaningful job. That's just something to do to make money, you know? Whereas like my mom, I always loved watching her when she was working, not watching her, but like my mom is a massage therapist and she's an amazing massage therapist and she's such a good massage therapist because that is what she was meant to be doing and that's what she loves to do, and like she's a healer in her own way. So I didn't grow up with seeing someone hate their job. So I didn't realize what that really was, and when I was working and I got older and I started really hating my job, I felt like lazy. Like, what's wrong with me? You know, like, just go to work. Like, why are you being so, like, work is work. You have to make money, blah, blah, blah. So, like, nobody likes their job. But at the end of the day, there are people who love their job. They love going to work. My mom will...
You should, I think.
My mom will walk in 20 feet of snow to get to the train just to go to work because she loves her job. I would never... At my other jobs, I would never.
What is the saying? If you love what you do, you're not really ever working.
Yeah, you don't have to work a day in your life.
Because it's like, you love it. So for you, it's fulfilling. It's... Like every day is just, it's nice. Like you enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, what's the point? You're just doing it for the money, and then at the end of the day, you're not truly happy, and then it all goes back into your peace.
Yes.
Are you at peace? No, because you're not truly happy.
I follow this girl on TikTok, and sometimes like she'll post these videos where she's like screaming. And she's just like, I don't want to go to work. You know, she's going crazy. It's sad. I remember feeling like that, though. I think we were just talking about this right before we started recording. Where, like, I would lay there. I would try to wake up. And that's why I was heavy on when I started meditating hard. I started waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning because it came to a point where I couldn't go to work without having meditated and prayed because my whole day would feel off. Like I would have just a shit day.
And I remember you saying you'd wake up so early and I would be like, why?
Like I have to because I had to start my day that way, because if not, it was just like I couldn't deal with my day. And I remember waking up before I got into my spiritual side or like really implementing it in my life. I would wake up so miserable. I would wake up actually depressed. Like I do not want to go to work. I would fight with myself every day. Like, should I just call out? Like, should I leave? And then you feel guilty because it's like your job isn't that bad.
Also not your character is not the type to call out.
Yeah.
That's not you.
No. And like you said, like it's always the case where you wake up and then you're miserable, you don't want to do it, but then when you push yourself to do it, whatever. It's fine. Like you get through the day. It's fine. But
you shouldn't have to do that every day. If that's what you're doing every day, there's a problem.
Every day, and I'd be so pissed. And that's not something that I can really talk to my parents about because my parents are hard workers. Like to them, first of all, my mom's over here and she loves her job. That woman never complains. And my dad is like, you just gotta work. Like, get up, go to work, do what you gotta do. Like, there's no complaining about that. So, for me, I started feeling really guilty. Like, am I just really a lazy person that never wants to go to work? What job am I gonna love enough to wake up and want to go to work every single day? I don't want to do that. Like I don't like but if I could be home
and figured it out though. You did.
Yeah, now I figured it out.
And that's what it takes though. It takes that process to get there. If you just stick to what you're doing and you're really forcing yourself every day to work, then you need to.
If something comes into your life that like destroys your peace so much, you end up at a crossroad where like you can let that continue and allow your life to just be ruled by this toxicity and keep on going that route, or you can put a stop to it, deal with whatever fear you have in that moment, and then figure it out and keep it pushing. Because honestly, it like you have to hit that point where you just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah, that rock bottom moment where like I cannot do it.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that I didn't really have to hit a rock bottom to leave. It was an emotional rock bottom. It wasn't a physical. It was more of a like, I know that I cannot physically go back there because I'm emotionally like, I wouldn't make it. Like, I don't know, like I wasn't gonna die, but it felt like I was dying inside emotionally. So I was like, I knew my body could not be in that building anymore. Like, that was it. The universe was like, no. It just so happened I worked at a school and it was summertime, so it was easy to make that transition, but it wasn't easy to make that decision. But it was worth it because, like I said, now it's like peace is everything. And now the decisions I make, that's like that's one of the first questions I ask myself. Like, does it bring me happiness? Does it bring me peace? Mm-hmm. Or does it take away from it? And that's really, and I feel like more people are coming into that realization where I've noticed a lot of people are just, they're not really working like that anymore. Like, we're not working ourselves like dogs anymore. We're demanding that we have, like, we're not here to, we weren't born to work.
Right.
That's just facts. Like, fuck that. We were not put on this earth to work a job that we hate. No.
Like, I saw something that this girl said that made me really think, like, wow, that's scary to think that way. Because if you are doing something you hate or just are not being fulfilled, it's just like every day is the same thing. You wake up, you go to work, you come home, you shower, you eat, you go to sleep. You come home or you wake up again and do the same thing all over again. Maybe, a few things are different each day, like one or two things, but it's pretty consistent and it's the same repetitive thing every single day. And it becomes repetitive if you don't love what you do. For me, my day's always interesting every single day. I love what I do and I feel fulfilled, and that's why I'm super happy with my everyday routine.
One thing I did a while ago was I wrote out everything that I do on like a regular day, not on like a day I'm feeling adventurous. On a regular ass day, I wrote down the things that I do, a list. And when I tell you, I thought that list was going to be so long. That list was so short.
This is what people do. I mean, routine is every day, right? That's what you do. And then it's just up to you to kind of go out of your routine maybe once or twice a week. It might not be every single day, but it's nice to like say, let's go for a nature walk, or let's do something like cool and fun today, something different. That always makes me happy and makes me feel nice because it's like breaking the routine. I like routine because that's just me. That's my personality. Some people don't. I do like routine, and I know people personally that don't like routine, that they're opposed to routine. They don't really
like routine. Routine bothers me a little bit. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
It makes me comfortable, and it's funny because it's like yin and yang.
Yin and yang. That's so funny.
It makes me comfortable, routine, whereas to some people it makes them uncomfortable, and they don't like that. They don't like thinking every day is the same. So
no.
For me, I feel comfort in routine, but I do like breaking that routine once in a while. At least once or twice a week, because it's leisure. It's like, you go out. Well, not anymore, but you go out with friends, you go dancing, go do something fun like go bowling, I like nature. So for me, like I go like on a trail walk or something like that on the weekends when it gets nicer out. Break the routine.
That's something I have to work on, where I don't like routine so much that I make myself feel guilty when I get into a routine. You know what I mean? Like, I'll start realizing that my days are the same, and I'll be like, what is happening? Like, that's that's a red flag. No. And I don't know if it, like, that's the Aquarius in me, I guess,
Yeah.
where I have to always be doing something. So on some, if I don't go on an adventure or something, I feel like if I'm home and I don't leave my house, I can't do that. That's not, I feel guilty. I guilt myself. I make myself feel guilty when that happens. And then in those moments, I try to catch myself, like, relax. We can stay home.
Yeah.
Like, we can be, I literally have to have that conversation with myself. Like, we can be home. We can relax. We can just, like, lay
It's
down.
like the only time you feel not guilty is if it's bad weather.
Yeah, if it's raining or I literally cannot go
It's
outside, if
blizzarding.
it's inconvenient or like whatever, then okay, fine. I have a reason to stay home. When I see it's raining outside, that's literally what I say. Like, okay, I have a reason to stay home today. I feel like if it's like right now, it's bothering me that it's nice outside and I'm inside and like I'm doing this right now, but I was happy that I went and I got soil because I was like, good, I got outside. I went for a walk. Because if I'm inside all day, I feel guilty. Like, what are you doing? I don't know why I'm like
I only
that.